Thank you for tuning in sa isang vlog ko na naman about studying in Germany. And today, ang topic natin is where to live as a student in Germany. So, saan tayo pwede tumira habang nagsastudy sa Germany? Dinivide ko ang topics into 3. So, first, I will talk about the WG, or in German Wohngemeinschaft, and translated into English, I think this would just be called a shared flat with other students. And then I will explain about Studentenwohnheim, which I would translate in English to student dorms. And lastly, you can also stay if you have relatives here. Maybe you also would want to take the chance and stay with your relatives or family in Germany. So first, I'll start with the WG or Wohngemeinschaft. Ako mismo nagstay sa isang, actually sa dalawang different WGs. So I shared a flat with roommates. At first, I shared a flat with one person, and then I moved to another flat sharing it with 2 other persons, which made my rent pretty cheaper. So baka nagtatanong kayo, magkano ba ang rent ko for my studies while studying? Ang binayad ko per month is around 250 euros, which is around 11k pesos, mga ganun. And yun, that's actually cheap in the sense kasi ang average na binabayad ng mga students per shared room is 300 to 350 euros. Pero yeah, ang binabayad ko is below the mean or the average. But mind you, ang room ko before, it was just 11 square meters. Dala na doon ang CR ko with my own shower, my own toilet, and wash area. So, medyo condo siya, like siksikan. And sa room ko na 11 square meter, like isa maximum, like, kasi single bed lang din yung meron ako. Only 2 people can sleep. Well, kung gusto mo may mattress pa, like 3 people can sleep over in my room. But yeah, it was only 11 square meters. What I like about shared flats, it's cheaper compared to na magsarili kang apartment. And but like the disadvantage is syempre less ang privacy, and minsan may parties din, may tinatawag na WG party. And yun, minsan kailangan mo mag-adjust din sa mga kasama mo sa shared flat. Going on with saan pa pwede tumira, you can also search for a Studentenwohnheim or ang mga student dormitory, mga affiliated apartments with the university. They're also cheaper at times, depende din sa location, compared to private apartments kung saan ka solo magsistay. On average, and tinanong ko din yung friend ko na nag-live sa isang Studentenwohnheim, doon sa student dormitory, kasi diba, affiliated nga sa university, you would pay around 300 to to 400. Minsan umaabot din ng 450 euros. Depende sa laki ng room. And then usually, ang facilities doon is kompleto na with the basics. You have your bed, your mattress, your desk, or your cabinet, and then your own toilet, and yun, CR. And then meron din, until now, meron din mga student apartments na kailangan mo mag-share ng toilet, depende kung saan ka na floor. Yun. But yeah, I just got lucky. I got a shared flat, which is within the city center. Pero, yun, sa shared flat ko, kailangan ko mag-share ng kitchen. Yeah, depende sa student dormitory. Paiba-iba kasi yung mga facilities. Pero, kung mas marami kang gustong kaartehan, like your own kitchen, and your own toilet, and maybe a balcony, tumataas din yung price na binibigay. So that's another option kung saan pwede magstay as a student in Germany. And then, there is also, if you have relatives here and family, you can also stay with your relatives, diba? It's an option, and maybe it's totally cheaper, or if you have relatives where you're not really close to, maybe you also have to pay rent. But at least you have people around you whom you know. And yeah, if it's near the university, diba, why not? Of course, there are pros and cons. Kasi in my case, I had the choice to live then with my family while studying, pero ang layo kasi ng location ng relatives ko sa university, so I would have commuted 3 hours, no, at least 5 hours every day, so no na lang. And naisip ko bago lang is meron din mga fraternity rooms available, pero kailangan mo mag-join ng fraternity. But I do think ang mga frats dito walang mga hazing sa alam ko. That's also an option, and I've heard it's also cheaper. But most of the fraternity I know lang is mga panglalaki. I didn't do much research about that, but may mga nakilala din ako na nag-lives doon sa frat house. But it's weird yung mga, wala silang hazing, but you have this like German traditional costume na iwe-wear. Yeah. But yeah. So these are some of the options where you can live as a student here in Germany. Go find a WG, a shared flat. Siyempre mag-apply ka, and you will have to know new people, new students. And then you can also apply to a Studentenwohnheim, the university dormitories. And then you have maybe relatives here where you can stay in a private house, or also apply to a fraternity room. So gagawin ko na now ang mga advantages and disadvantages sa mga sinabi kong pwedeng tirahan as a student. So, ang advantage if nasa shared flat ka, it's usually cheaper kasi you pay a whole apartment and divide it by 3, diba? So you can actually have it cheaper, and then kahit yung media contribution every month, divide nyo din yun sa 3, maliban if may exemption yung nakasamahan nyo. And I think it's also nice to share the flat kasi may mga kasama kayo. Ang disadvantage lang is if hindi kayo like party people, if may gustong mag-party sa WG, So, no choice kayo minsan. Kailangan nyo din maki-party at makiinom. And then, ang advantage if doon kayo sa student dorm, sa university dorm, which is affiliated nga sa university, may mga perks din, like may mga student parties, you can meet other students, and usually wala naman sa Germany, like walang curfew ang mga student dorms. And usually it's also cheaper compared sa mga private apartments. Ang disadvantage lang if nandun kayo sa university dorm is if ma-delay kayo ng semester, you sometimes have to reason out why and then extend it for another semester. And if nag-graduate na kayo, you will only have a limited time, and then pwede ka i-kick out sa university dorm because it's supposed to be for students. If naka-graduate ka na, then you have to say and bye and leave the student dorm. And then lastly, if you're staying with your family, the only disadvantage I would see is you will still live with your relative and baka ma-miss out yung student life sa Germany. But it's also an advantage kasi if you're with relatives, usually bumababa naman yung rent. Or hindi, malaki. But it depends din. So, thank you. And see you on my next vlog.